The infinite expanse of space isn't something you, I, or anyone will ever truly experience. It is boundless in a way that we cannot simply comprehend. To try and put space into some sort of perspective would be foolish, but I'm gonna try anyway. In 1969, it took the crew of the Apollo 11, that being Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and the oft forgot Michael Collins, about 4 days, 6 hours, and 45 minutes to get from the Earth to the Moon. They traveled about 238,900 miles from the surface of the Earth to the surface of the Moon. To travel that distance and that time, you'd have to be going about 2,325 miles per hour. Now, the distance from the Earth to the Sun is about 92.96 million miles. Traveling at that average speed from before, it would take about 1,666 days and 16 hours, or about 4.5 years, to get from Earth to the Sun. The nearest star that isn't the Sun is Alpha Centauri, and to reach it in about 100 years, a spacecraft would have to be traveling at 25,525 miles per hour. As mentioned, the reason I'm spouting off all these random numbers is so that I can put space into some sort of perspective, because it is for this reason that space is terrifying. The sheer scope and size of it, it is near infinite, and for humanity to explore all of it before the inevitable heat death of the universe would just be silly. But perhaps it is that fear that sparks our curiosity, that keeps us fixated on the stars, why our ancestors named the shapes they saw in them, why we built rockets, and why we all dream about living on the moon or living on Mars, and why pop culture is filled to the brim with media relating to space and our exploration of it. Media does a good job of portraying the wonders and horrors of space. Star Trek depicts discovering planets and fighting off baddies, while Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy shows us that we are insignificant in the grand scheme of the universe. Games like Mass Effect and FTL let you be this fighting force that must shape the outcome of the universe. Or die trying. But where most media fails to portray space is in the mundane. Picking up odd jobs, mining for resources, or simply flying. Movies and TV shows never show you space travel. They make the jump to light speed, show off the cool visuals for a second or two, then they either end up at their destination, or they're doing something more interesting on the ship, away from any windows to save on the effects budget. The same is true for video games. The space travel is either instant, with no time to look at celestial bodies, or it takes place during a cutscene. Most space games ignore the beauty that is happening around you. Most games want to put you back in the action, get you back to fighting aliens or saving the world. But Elite Dangerous isn't most games. You know the old saying that goes, the journey is more important than the destination? Well, that's Elite Dangerous. Elite Dangerous is, and please imagine air quotes on the next part of the sentence, an accurate representation of space travel. The bulk of the game is traveling from space station to space station, receiving and turning in different missions. The missions range from delivering coffee grounds to another station, to eliminating bad guys, or mining some rocks. It is mundane and honestly a bit repetitive. But what keeps me coming back? What makes me want to run spices from one system to another? Well, as I said before, the journey is more important than the destination. And what keeps me going is the spaceflight. Flying in Elite Dangerous isn't just a simple push and go. You have to manage fuel, pitch, speed, angle of approach, landing gear, mining gear, weapon systems, oxygen levels, incoming messages, being attacked, shields, frameshift drives, cargo capacity, and ship weight, just to name a few. Flying in this game isn't easy. I usually have to have the wiki page open on another monitor just to make sure I know what I'm doing. But once you get the hang of it, everything kind of just clicks into place. You are the master of your own ship, and you can go anywhere you want in this one-to-one recreation of the Milky Way galaxy. Oh yeah, did I forget to mention that Elite Dangerous is a recreation of our little corner of the universe? 'Cause it is. It's also an online game, meaning in theory, you can run into other players. But with the sheer scope of the galaxy, it's really unlikely. I've never run into another player in any of my time playing Elite Dangerous. Elite Dangerous's sheer size makes it a somber and kind of sad experience. You are alone in the universe. Even when you dock at a space station, it all feels impersonal. You never leave your ship, a screen is brought up, and you interact with a menu that has a picture of people on it. None of them move, you're aware that all of them are just AI. It makes you feel small. It makes you feel isolated. And that is the reality of space. Humanity is small and isolated. We are a grain of sand on a much larger beach. After getting a new job at the space station, I head over to a new solar system. I am almost always dropped out of hyperspeed next to a star. My ship reminds me through a loud, repetitive beeping that if I stay here too long, my ship will overheat and I will die. I veer away to get away from the star that's radiating this heat. But as I fly away from the star, I stare at it. I am reminded once again of how small I am. But instead of feeling insignificant, I feel joy. I feel lucky to be alive at all. I'm reminded that out of all the possibilities and all realities, I'm alive. The true beauty of space isn't in the extravagant fantasies that pop culture have portrayed for us, but in the vast emptiness that is dotted with these beautiful stars and these wonderful planets. Unlike other games, space travel in Elite Dangerous isn't instantaneous. It's quick, but it's still in real time. You have to wait to approach the stars and asteroids and planets. If you travel too fast, you'll overshoot and miss the destination, and have to spend even more time reorienting your ship and then flying to the destination again. So usually, you have to take things kinda slow. Not so slow as it'll take hours or days to get to your destination, but slow enough that it might take a minute. During this travel time, you only have to input minimal corrective jolts just to make sure you don't crash into something, but it's pretty hands-off. You are left alone in the quiet emptiness of space, watching the stars in the distance or the planetary bodies next to you. It lets you take in the vastness of it all, the beauty, the emptiness, and that is Elite Dangerous's true strength. Elite Dangerous does have a lot going on. Each solar system has its own economy. There are tons of different ships, each that do slightly different things. You can be a bounty hunter, a smuggler, or a trader. But as I said, Elite Dangerous's true strength is just flying around, is just sitting in your ship, taking it all in. It's quiet, it's personal, and it lets you think. I have no other real way of showing this off to you other than just showing it. So in a few seconds, some footage of just flying around in Elite Dangerous with some nice music in the background will start playing. I hope this video has shown you why I love Elite Dangerous. I encourage you to check out the game if you haven't. Thanks for watching, and enjoy.